Chelsea, this week I have some more whale news. And this might just barely be connected to the things going on with the orcas. Doesn't specify it in the article, but I can talk about it at the end how it might be related. Or you might be able to connect the dots on how I think it's related as
I'm
read
intrigued.
this article out loud. But this article comes from a website called Science Alert. I've never used it before. I did find it on multiple sources. I thought this was a good article because it mostly connected the other part of the article I wanted in here. But written on December 18th, 2023 by Jessica Orwig and Kelsey Vlamis. Title: Scientists contact whales in world first communication experiment.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do whale experts and alien hunters have in common? More than you might expect. For a recent study published in the peer-reviewed journal Piers, never heard of it before, scientists from UC Davis, the University of California Davis campus, the Alaska Whale Foundation, and SETI, Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, teamed up. Their mission: communicate with whales. And they did just that. In a landmark experiment, the team had a 20-minute conversation with a humpback whale named Twain in her own language. And it doesn't say in the article, but I would like to know if they named it Twain or if the whale told them its name was Twain.
It sounds like the
whale in the conversation, by the way, your name's Twain.
The way it says it sounds like the whale told them that is the whale's name, which is weird, but you bring up a very good point. It's probably one of the other ones.
Twain and the scientists didn't talk about the weather or the latest fish gossip. We're still a long way from that level of understanding. What did happen, though, was remarkable. The scientists sailed a boat off the coast of Alaska and played what's called a contact call into the ocean to see if any whales would respond. Contact calls are similar to a human greeting. So they just basically put a speaker into the ocean and yelled, "Hello!" a lot in Welsh. Or Welsh. Is it Walish or Welsh?
It would be Walish.
Okay.
Welsh is already taken.
Damn. Whales use them to call over other whales or let each other know where they are. Lead author Brenda McCowan, a professor at UC Davis's School of Veterinary Medicine, told Business Insider, "They are one of the most common signals within the humpback whale social sound repertoire." Fred Sharp, co-author and principal investigator with the Alaska Whale Foundation, told Business Insider. Sure enough, Twain swam up to the boat and circled it. For the next 20 minutes, the scientists emitted the same contact call 36 different times at varying intervals, and Twain responded to the call each time, even closely matching the intervals. Meaning if the scientist waited 10 seconds before playing a call back to Twain, she would in turn wait 10 seconds before responding, McCowan said. This type of interval matching suggests Twain was engaged in an intentional exchange, she added. Quote, "It certainly felt like we had been heard," end quote, Sharp told Business Insider, emphasizing that their work is done with a permit from the National Marine Fisheries Service and readers should not try this at home or sea. Quote again, "We believe that this is the first such communicative exchange between humans and humpback whales in the humpback language," end quote, McGowan said in a statement. Calls came back from humpback whales that researchers recorded from a small group of whales just the day before their encounter. And the group had included Twain, so it's possible Twain was responding to her own signal. So they were playing it, and she's like, "Hey, that's me."
I sound so nice.
I hope whales feel that way. What if it's like, is that what I sound like?
Yeah.
And it turns out Twain's behavior could be akin to how intelligent alien races may seek humanity out, said Lawrence Doyle, a principal investigator at the SETI Institute and co-author on the paper. Quote, "An important assumption on the search for extraterrestrial intelligence is that extraterrestrials will be interested in making contact and so target human receivers." Sort of like how Twain responded to the contact call from the scientist, Doyle said in the statement. Doyle and his colleagues at SETI are working with whales and animal experts at UC Davis and the Alaska Whale Foundation to create intelligent filters to aid in their search for extraterrestrial intelligence. If extraterrestrials are out there sending us signals, trying to communicate, we might miss them if we don't know what to look for, Doyle told Business Insider. By perfecting these intelligence filters, scientists could use them to identify intelligence signals from space in an attempt to make first contact with an alien race. Quote, "There are diverse intelligences on this planet, and by studying them, we can better understand what an alien intelligence might be like, because they're not going to be exactly like ours," end quote, said McCowan. The research is still testing the idea of whether or not intelligent alien life would even seek us out. And quote finishes off, whale research has indicated if you're intelligent, curiosity comes along with that, and you want to make contact, end quote, Doyle said. Scientists said they hope similar work can be carried out with other intelligent animals on Earth, including other cetaceans like dolphins, carnivores that cooperate to hunt, and other highly social species like meerkats and elephants. And that's the article. After reading it again out loud, I realized I probably should have used the Business Insider article that they keep quoting, but we're past that point now.
I didn't really notice. I have so many things to say. Number one, I just gotta address the elephant or whale in the room, if you may.
Can you do it in Walish?
Is anybody trying to reach out to the orcas?
Well, and that's why I feel like
so
this is one step towards reasoning with the orcas off the coast of the Iberian Peninsula.
I say the rich people do it.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there. They got nothing to lose, I guess. I mean...
See, I feel that the rich people should actually hire a poor person to do it because the orcas seem to understand the poor people and be on good terms with them.
It's true. Second, I feel like SETI is grasping at straws here by saying this is how aliens might react.
Well,
because whales are just kind of minding their own business in the ocean and they don't know that anything's really happening outside of their life, I don't think. Unless they do, unless they're like really intelligent and we just don't know that.
And if you're read enough in sci-fi, I'm not that well read, but I'm read enough. Whales come up a lot in sci-fi for reasons that are comedy. Other reasons are because they are an intelligent species or because it's Star Trek V. But what I think the reason they use whales is because they are intelligent enough to have like their own language and communication system, so that we can see with us attempting to communicate with them how they attempt to communicate back. It is not coming from a human standpoint. Their way of communicating back to us is coming from a completely other evolved intelligence. So we can see another evolved intelligence's way of communicating.
Okay.
When we attempt to communicate. So we can see, hey, if something like this was coming to us, what could be expected back from, say, like a whale, if it was whales out there doing it?
So they pull up in a UFO and they get out and they use Whalish. And we're like, we trained for this.
No, it's in fact just hello.
My next point, Moby Dick's a sci-fi, right?
No, I think that was all, in fact, modern day technologies at the time.
What was that other, do you remember the other Dick? What was that other
Mocha
book?
Dick.
Mocha Dick, yes. Mocha Dick. Now there's the sci-fi. And then my third point, I mean, we've all had interactions with our pets. They respond. You bark at a dog, it responds.
It does, but we don't know their
them your
language and
song.
we don't really signal it properly. Like, we can teach them ours. We don't really actually know how to communicate with them in their
We
language.
don't speak in their language, that's correct. And I don't know that dogs, like, talk to each other.
Exactly. So I don't think they actually have a fully vocal communication system the way that whales do.
Okay, so that's why they went with whale. Okay.
Yeah. Of course, they also said elephant and meerkats at the end there, which do have a very social society, but I think they're less vocal than whales are, and I think that's why they chose whales first. Also, just, biggest brains on the planet, so...
Meerkats.
Whales.
Right. Okay. I think that's... Well, I mean, what if it's just body language? That's a very important part of communication, even with humans.
It is, but we're not going to be able to convey that across the vast emptiness of space. You're going to do it. We're going to have a little jiggle dance and we send out into space.
Point taken.
But there's so many different ways that this research can go. It can go towards the orcas, it can go into space. Maybe there are, in fact, space whales. And my vast collection of space whale pictures are not just fantasy and science fiction, but based in reality. And that's something I think we can all hope for.
That's best case scenario.
Yes.
Based on what we want for ourselves and the research we're currently doing.
Yeah, and based on all the disclosure information that's been coming to the surface in the last 6 months, so very annoyingly, I might add, and this research happening, that's my best estimate as to what's actually out there as space whales. So,
you heard it here first.
Yeah.
As always.
And that's why we make these predictions that are always right.
Mm-hmm.
We're like the Alex Jones of actually saying right predictions. in that he is wrong all the time. But anyhow, that gives you something to contemplate over the next 48 hours. There'll be less space whale related information in the next episode. I do apologize for that, but maybe in the future there'll be more space whales.
Okay, good.
Hey, I'll see you Friday.
See ya.